Okay, so apologies for kind of running over my time limit, but I didn't want to have to say all that again and cut stuff out and do another take. So I just wanted to kind of do a couple more minutes here in a part 2 video. Um, so Katko has 5 total highs so far, which means he's averaging 1 a week. That's extremely impressive. Only one other person has more than 2 high scores among the positions. I think that's about all you can see here. You can see Katko's delta, the difference between high and low, is much better than anyone else's. Actually, no one else has a delta higher than 1. So you can look at that. As far as the team pages go, I'm not going to screw around. But it's worth noting the Cables are both back to violating the 40% rule. They have over 40% of their points coming from the wide receiver tight end position. Here's the week 5 kind of data entry. There's a huge difference this week between the difference in points that you could have had if you picked the perfect lineup. There's a ton of scores over 20 points here that you could have improved your lineups by. So there's a lot of points left on the bench this week. Last week there was only one person who had a difference of higher than 20. So I don't know how to explain the difference really from one week to the next in terms of really low bench scoring to really high bench scoring. But I thought it was just something to point out. I'm sure it's pretty much random. Now when it comes to bench power, I added some averages here just to reference. This was the second best bench power week, so the scores probably are higher, I guess, now that I think about it. And everyone's average is between 4 and 6.6 it looks like. So everyone's pretty close. The average bench power score is 5.35. I noticed, of course, that I'm the only person to never get lower than that. I obviously am going to notice the stats about myself more. But everyone's beat that at least once. So it's pretty, not random, but around the board it's kind of all jumbled up. So that's bench power. Moving on to the WOD sheet. Let's see, what do I want to talk about here? Oh, just as an example, it's kind of misleading, the WOD stat. To look at the other side of the coin here, I'm going to show you why it could be misleading. Jay has 3 deserved wins, so it says. But really, when you look at his scores objectively, he was the 6th place team one week, the 7th place team one week, and the 8th place team one week. And then the other 2 is number 1. So if you were just looking at it, looking through our schedule on the league page, you would say, yeah, Jay deserves to be 2 and 3. Well, this stat adds up these tiny pieces of wins until he gets to 3 deserved wins. So this says one thing, but if you're looking at it from through a different lens, you could say that Jay only really deserves to have 2 wins. Now, where it works, I guess, is more so myself, just using as an example. I've been 4th through 6th place 4 times. So if you tell me that I'm going to have 4 weeks where I'm either 4th, 5th, or 6th place, I'm probably going to guess that I'll win 2 of those, because you're in the middle of the pack, so chances are you have about a 50% chance to win. And I only have 1 win, so that's where adding up those pieces is valuable. But as the season goes on, the little pieces make more of a difference, and it'll be this will be a stronger stat as we get more weeks through the year. What else do I want to say about this before we end it? Oh, just one last thing. I added the deserved wins rounded column just for convenience. I was hesitant to put it in there because I don't know if you guys will take the wrong conclusions from it. Because, for instance, say Billy has a deserved wins of 2.44. That's pretty much halfway between deserving 2 and 3. But it's going to round him down to 2. So WOD is still the better stat to look at. But the deserved wins rounded column, I think, is kind of just saying if we generated the schedule a ton of times, the most common outcome for the standings in our league would currently look like this. So you could maybe see how like the playoff picture would be affected differently if the schedule was more fair or something like that. You have to look at the deserved wins rounded probably as a whole, not for individual teams. So that's one interesting thing to point out. I hope you liked the stats video this week. Let me know if you have any questions about anything.